Hey guys, so today I have a book review of something that I just finished reading called The Dancing Master by Julie Klassen. I actually had never heard of this book, but I was just in the library and I saw it on a shelf, and my first reaction was, wow, that is a cover that I would never want to be caught reading in public, and then the second was that I just have to read that book because it looks like such a good, cheesy romance. But unfortunately, I was let down once I started the book. I'm going to give it like 3 stars, although I think 3 might even be too high. I think a fair judgment would be 2.5. This book is about this young woman named Julia Midwinter, and they live in this small village, and Julia Midwinter's mother is the patroness of this town. She's Lady Midwinter. And Julia and her mother have a very poor relationship, and Julia really wants to leave this town. She hates where she lives, she hates her mother for the most part, and she's just a ginormous flirt. She's spoiled, she knows she's beautiful, just that kind of girl. And Alec Valcourt is a young gentleman that comes to town from London. He and his mother and his sister have moved in with their uncle because there has been some family problems going on and they had to restart their lives over here in Beworthy. And Alec is a dancing and fencing master, but the thing about where they live in Beworthy now is that Julia Midwinter's mother, the lady of the village, she is forbidden dancing, and the reason why she's forbidden dancing is like slowly revealed throughout the book, but you don't really know what happens till hundreds of pages in. It drags on a lot. So this book, although it was a romance, it wasn't a very good romance. The narration of this book honestly was not done very well. Alec Valcourt had a huge chunk of this book where he was narrating the story, and his character seemed like a whiny 17-year-old boy who's pretending that he has all of this responsibility and pressure to support his family, when meanwhile he's not acting like it, he's acting just kind of spoiled and annoying. So I didn't like his perspective. I didn't like Julia Midwinter's perspective, probably because I didn't like Julia Midwinter, and I didn't really like any of the characters in this book, unfortunately. I'm not going to say much more about it because there's really nothing more to say. I just didn't really like it. I wouldn't really recommend it to anybody, and I don't mean any offense to anyone who does like this book. You're allowed to like what you like, but I personally just didn't care for it. I'm reading a book right now, just to get into what I'm currently reading, called Crash, which I have had on my TBR for a very long time, and I have this book on loan from the library on my Kindle. So Crash is, I'm waiting for it to load. Aha, there we go. It's by Nicole Williams. It had a different cover when I first put it on my TBR, and it had very high reviews on Goodreads and Amazon, which is why I put it in my TBR. But I'm on chapter 5, and it doesn't seem very good so far. It's a little ridiculous and way over the top, so I'm not sure if I'm really going to like it, but because I've wanted to read it for so long and because the reviews were so high, I am going to stick it out. I'm at 18% according to my Kindle, so maybe it will turn around. I'm just going to keep giving it a chance, and it's a very quick read, so I don't feel like I'm wasting my time necessarily with it. And at the library, I also got another book called Perfect Timing. I don't know anything about this book, but I just saw it in the library and thought I might be interested in reading it. It is about a young woman who is going to be married, but the day before her wedding, she meets a fellow, and I don't know, something happens, she calls off her wedding and she runs away, and I think it's because she develops some type of attraction for him and she questions everything and runs away. That's all that I know about this book. I just read it on the back. I haven't heard any reviews on this, so I don't know if it's good, but apparently she's an international best-selling author, and I guess it should be good, so I'm going to be reading this shortly. Those are the books that I have up to read and that I'm currently reading. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.